Hello, good morning everyone. I am starting a new vlog today because it's summer vacation. I was supposed to do the Reading Rush reading challenge last week, but I just didn't really have the time because I'm still a little bit tired from the weeks just before summer break. So I really needed a couple of days just to recover. So I'm starting this vlog on a Saturday. I plan on vlogging the next 4 days and try to read as much as possible. Before we can do that today though, I wanted to make sure I finished all of my chores and I did everything I had to do. And one of the chores I still need to do is go to IKEA. And my plan was to do that by bike. It's about a 30-minute bike ride to get there, but it's gonna rain. So I've decided to go and take the bus there, which is only going to take a little bit longer then. So it should be fine. And then hopefully I can finish that off this morning and then get to reading. I will show you what I'm in the midst of reading when I get back home. So let me put you down for now, and then I'll see you again later. Hello, I'm back from IKEA. The delivery is going to be here tomorrow, which is going to be great. So I can't really show you much of that yet because I will be filming another video for my other channel where I will show you what I got from IKEA and what it is that I intend to do. But for now, I'm going to be reading again because I just got home and I'm super tired, so I just want to sit on the couch and not do much of anything anymore today. So I'm going to be reading this. I'm almost done. I'm just over halfway through, so I think I can finish it today. And this is Jim Butcher's Summer Night, which is the 4th installment, if I'm not mistaken, 4th or 5th book in the Dresden Files. I really enjoy this series. I really feel I shouldn't read too much of it though in one go. So I've been reading like 1, maybe 2 books of it a year, and then I find it quite manageable. So this book is a urban fantasy series centered around a magician who lives in Chicago, and he deals with lots of like supernatural things like vampires and ghosts. And this one has to do with fairies. And there's a war brewing in fairyland, and he needs to prevent it or else he will be fed to a bunch of vampires. These books are not known for being the craftiest of fantasy novels. These are just great, action-packed, sort of like, I kind of compare this to like, you know, what TV shows like CSI and those kind of TV shows would give you, but then with more of a fantasy element. And I personally love those kind of things. It's detective work, there are murders going on, there's always something mysterious, and Harry himself is a bit of a tool, and I think that's quite funny. I also know that these books aren't loved by a lot of people because of the way it treats women. So is it the best written book ever? I don't think so, but these are just super entertaining, and if you need something that is very easy to read, very quick, I do really enjoy these, and people have told me that as the series progresses, these books get better and better, and so far I'm really liking this. I do have to say it's sort of like, it's very sort of like that like television style of writing, but I personally quite enjoy that. This is what I hope to be able to finish today, and then I can hopefully start another book tomorrow, because as I mentioned in my intro, I want to try and read as much as possible, and especially in the next 2 weeks, because I want to prepare for Tome Topple, which I found out yesterday is going to start on August 8th, and there is a 1,000-page book that I want to read during my summer vacation. So it's like, if I try to first read as many books as possible so I don't fall behind on my Goodreads goal, and then I can get to that larger book for Tome Topple, I think I would have a pretty decent time reading during my summer vacation. So I hope to finish this one today, and then hopefully tomorrow I can like read another book, and then day after tomorrow another book, and then on Tuesday another book. That's what I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. I'll make it. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's very much what I'm going to be doing. I'm now going to recuperate from that trip to IKEA. I don't know why, but it always wears me out to go to IKEA. So yeah, that's it for right now. I will be back with you in a few hours, maybe when I've read more of this, who knows, and then I can update you on what it is that I think of this book. I finished Summer Night by Jim Butcher, and it was really, really good. It's very action-packed, very thrilling. Like I said before, these books are very quick, easy reads that just sort of have that edge on your seat kind of plot-driven action detective story. And yeah, this was a good one. I can definitely see this series being better. I don't think that, like, the first 2 or 3 that I read, there was definitely some more like cringe-worthy moments. In here, there are like a couple of references to like Shakespeare and Edgar Allan Poe, and those had me chuckle as well. So there's little bits like that in there. Didn't really give you a good synopsis of this, I guess, but Harry Dresden is a magician in Chicago, and he is the only magician that works for hire. And in this story, he is hired by the Winter Queen of Fairyland to find out who killed the Summer Night, because she's being blamed, and she's like, but I didn't do that. So he then needs to figure something out. He's on trial with the White Council, which in this world is like the governing body for all the wizards. And so he is sort of like on trial because he started a war with vampires, and he's being blamed for that. And they're sort of like saying, okay, you solve this mess, and then we won't give you to the vampires, pretty much. So he's in a pretty tight spot here. This is just, yeah. It's got lots of battle scenes. There's one particular one that's actually quite funny. It's in a Walmart, and it was very fun. So now I need to pick what I would like to read next. And I'm not entirely sure. So I pulled 4 books from my shelves, and these are all potentials. And these are, some of these books I've already read, or they've been on my wish list for a long time, like my TBR for a long time, or they are quite recent reads, but that I'm sort of like very intrigued to read. So especially because I just finished 2 fantasy books, I think that what I would like to read is something completely different. Like, I love to go back and forth between things. So I actually think, because this one and this one, these are both on my 2020 TBR, so reading one of those will have me finish one of those goals. And I think I'll do this. So this would be a reread for me. This is A.M. Holmes's This Book Will Save Your Life. This is in my top 10 all-time favorite books, but it's been more than a decade that I read it. So I wanted to read it again to see if I still love it as much. This was an incredibly fun book. I remember exactly like what my favorite moments were. This is about, I think he's in his 50s, a man called Richard Novak. He lives out in LA, and he has his life in control. He's got everything down to a T, but he's not the most sociable of people. He's sort of cut people from his life, almost, you could say. That's the only thing he doesn't really deal with. And then, even though he's being super healthy, and he's working out, and he's on a special diet, and he's like, yes, I'm living the good life here, he still gets a heart attack, and he is taken to the hospital. And on his way to the hospital, oops, I can't see anymore what I do. And on his way to the hospital, he finds a donut shop, and there's donuts on the front for that reason. And that happening, that sort of instance, catapults his life into a very strange string of things. And this book just had a very, very cool message behind it, I remember. And yeah, there's a sinkhole behind his house, and then he has to move house all of a sudden. And it's sort of like, you know, you need to live your life, and you can't try to control everything. That's sort of what this book, at least, did for me at the time. It's almost like a coming of age story, but then with someone who's already like well on his way in life. And I remember this being a really, really fun book, very sort of easy to read as well. There's a lot of dialogue, so I think this could be one I can read quite quickly, and it is less than 400 pages, plus the typeset is pretty generous too. So I think I'll try and read this tomorrow, because by now I'm like, a little bit done with the reading for today. And then maybe I'll go to one of these because, as I mentioned, I'm going to try and read as much as possible. So a book per day in the next couple of days. That would be lovely. But I'm going to start with this one. Right, good morning. It is Sunday. I just finished doing all of my chores, so I'm a bit flustered because I just finished cleaning my entire place, which was great. And while I was doing that, I was listening to an audiobook, which I haven't updated you on yet. I am currently listening to The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead, and I'm about 4.5 hours into this book already. I only have about 2 hours left, so maybe I can finish this sometime in the next couple of days. I'm not sure yet. But I definitely had a couple of occasions in the past week or so where I could spend a long time listening to this. So far, I can't say I enjoy it because it's not the kind of story to enjoy for fun. This is a story that is very harrowing, very sad, very, well, heart-wrenching, you could say. So in that sense, it's not the kind of story that's just going to be like, oh yeah, this is fun and breezy and action-packed. This story is about Elwood, who is sent to a reform school in the 60s, and he is a person of color, and he was supposed to go to college. That's where he was going, and this school is just not a nice place, let's just put it that way. It's called the Nickel Academy, and the story sort of starts with this perspective years later when this graveyard that was at the school is being excavated, and this lays bare some of the atrocities that were happening at the time, and we sort of follow Elwood as he is going through his time at this reform school and like all the things that are happening there. So this is a story that is just really important to just read at some point in time. I already read another book by Colson Whitehead, The Underground Railroad, a few years ago, and that was also very gripping and harrowing, and I felt a very important story to read, and I feel the same way about this one. It's so far incredibly well told. You can really sort of feel the anguish that this boy and his friends are going through and everything that's happening, and yeah, it's just every single time you're like, no way, this isn't real. This can't be real. But it's all based on a school that used to exist, so a lot of this is real, you could say, which makes it all the more like mind-boggling, like how bad people can be even when they think they are, well, doing good sometimes. Anyways, let's just say that in terms of like discrimination and racism and everything that's in this novel, oh boy, it's a real like harrowing story. But so far it's been really good because it's just really, really well told. So, very important book. I highly recommend if you want to read something like this. It's just a really, really good one. Right, so I'm back from doing everything that I needed to do. I did groceries, I went to the post office, picked up a ColourPop order, which is finally here, so I'm super happy about that. But it's time for lunch, because I haven't had much to eat yet today. So I made myself, I'm not sure if I can show you this, but I made myself some bagels with cream cheese and salmon, and I've got coffee, as well as some orange juice, so I'm just gonna sit here and start reading this book, and hopefully I can finish it today. I'm not sure. This is a book I already read, as I mentioned. I'm not sure if I'll like it as much as I did when I first read this. It's been years though, so I hope I like it. Hello, it's like close to 6 o'clock and I haven't vlogged at all. All I've done is read, except my IKEA delivery, which came in just fine, but I don't really feel like putting my new coffee table together just yet that I got. I think I'll do that tomorrow. It's quite nice weather, but it's also super windy, so I haven't really been able to sit outside or anything like that. So I've just been chilling here on the couch, and I read about 130 pages so far, which is less than I would have liked to have read by now, but I'm definitely not going to be finishing this today as I had hoped. But yeah, still, I think I can get to 200 pages before I have dinner in like an hour or so. I think I'll order pizza, which would be bad. But yeah, I definitely don't want to read too long today because I also want to watch something tonight. I'm not sure yet. I started watching Dark on Netflix last week, and I've seen 5 episodes so far, which is the first half of the first season. So I think I may want to watch more of that. But I also still want to watch Hamilton on Disney Plus because I haven't gotten around to that yet. Like, there's just so much that I still want to watch. I still want to watch La La Land on Netflix. I think that's been on there for a few months now, so I'm definitely sort of in this catching up mood. So far, this book, let me talk about that too. This book is going really, really well for me. I'm really enjoying it. It's a bit absurdist almost. It's a bit different from what I remember it to be, but so far everything that I remember happening and how crazily absurd this is, I still remember happening. And I think that what it says here on the back, that's very telling, sort of what I liked about this story so much. A sharp and wildly entertaining novel about new beginnings, transformation, and the weirdness of LA. And Stephen King blurbed this, comparing it to Catch-22 and Catcher in the Rye. Catch-22 I didn't like, but Catcher in the Rye is also one of my all-time favorite books, so I kind of now see why I like this so much. It's just a bit crazy. Like, it's very sort of like, the dialogue is very sort of short and snappy. It's very sort of like, oh, okay. And the things that are just happening to this guy is just, like, I think we're only 2 days into the story, and he's already nearly had a heart attack. He's being run over by a car. He's made a new friend. He started dating a woman who he doesn't even realize he's dating yet. He had a sinkhole behind his house that had a horse in it and the horse was rescued by his neighbor movie star with a helicopter. Now he's had to relocate houses because of said sinkhole, and that's sort of where we're at, and it's only 2 days of a story. So far I'm really, really liking this again. I just think it's everything I wanted and more. This is a bit of a crazy one. Definitely a bit of a Marmite book. I think it can be quite polarizing. I think it's one of those books that, like Catcher in the Rye and Catch-22 actually, you either love it or you hate it kind of thing. And I'm loving it, so I'm having a good time reading this again. It's really funny at times, and so far I know even better stuff is coming. So. Hi, I'm back. Dinner is here, but I'm not going to do any reading anymore. But I just wanted to update you that I did get to the 200-page mark of my book, and indeed, as I had predicted, this sort of crazy retreat that he goes on was right after I last talked to you. So that was quite funny. So yeah, I'm still enjoying the book, but I'll continue it again tomorrow. Right now, I think I just saw
browsed through Netflix and I saw that they are having this documentary about the New York Mafia. I think I want to watch that. If I look a little glowy as well, I just showered and did my skincare routine, so I've got a nice bit of face oil on so that can like sink in as I am going to be devouring this lovely pizza. I went with 4 cheeses and I got a milkshake. So this is super bad, but I was really craving pizza. So let's do some Netflix. Oh yeah, that's the one. Fear City. That's what we're gonna be watching right there. Hello there, I am here to update you on This Book Will Save Your Life, which I've just finished, and it was good, it was great. I really like the writing style of this book. I think it's not for everyone, as I've already mentioned. It's a bit absurdist. It has these really strange turns and strange conversations, but I absolutely loved it. I raced through this, to be quite honest, so super excited that I read this again and that it didn't disappoint, that my memory of it was definitely different from what I remembered, because I didn't remember all the parts that were in this book, but I definitely really liked it still, so this is a great one. And I now have a colleague who I'm like, oh, you should read this, because I know he likes Catcher in the Rye and Catch-22 as well. So he might enjoy this. So yeah, that book, it's still in my top 10. Still in my top 10. But it is only 5 o'clock, so the afternoon is only like still a little on its way before I need to start making dinner. So I thought I could pick up a new book as well, and I decided to go for Far From the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. This is a classic that I know nothing about. Hi, good morning. Well, about to be good afternoon, because I've already like done everything I needed to do today. I haven't read anything yet, so I just thought I could come on here. You saw me do my makeup, and I just filmed 3 videos. And now I need to run errands because I am going to be visiting my brother and my sister-in-law tomorrow, and they have their second baby on the way. And I've never even bought anything for the little guy yet. We know it's going to be a boy, so that's going to be exciting. So yeah, I wanted to get them something, and just this weekend, my electric toothbrush broke. So I need to pick one of those up, and I got a little other things that I need to just get. So I'm gonna go to the mall, because that's where I'll have everything in one place. So that's what I'm gonna be doing right now. And then when I get back, I will definitely be filming some. But yeah, I just need to clean up the mess I made while filming. And I have this IKEA thing sitting next to me that I still need to build, which I haven't had just the energy for. Well, I've had lots of energy, but not just, I haven't been really enticed to do that yet. So I think I'll do it later this week. So yeah, I'm just gonna go and run my errands, and then when I get back, I'll have lunch, and then I'll read. That's the plan. So I've been a very bad vlogger today. I didn't vlog much. I think the last time I spoke to you was right before I went out the door to run some errands, and when I got back, I sat down on a couch and I suddenly felt very tired. So I've just been lounging on the couch all afternoon. I did finish my audiobook, so I did finish Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. Oh my, what a book, what a book. I've been reading some of the reviews on Goodreads, and I can see why some people might not like this. It's very sort of journalistic in style, and I also think that because most of the narration is from the point of view of teenage boys, that sort of limits the way the story is being told. But I think he had a similar approach to the Underground Railroad. It was very sort of like, and then this, and then that, and then that. Like, the characters don't really reflect on what's going on. Everything just kind of happens to them. And I think that with this kind of story, which is just about these, like, brutal beatings and, like, bad things that are going on in this reform school, make it even more harrowing. It's like you're there with the characters. At least that's how I experienced it. Even though some people are saying they have a hard time connecting to the characters, I had no issues doing that. And there's a really, like, there's a plot twist towards the end that I didn't know about that was super interesting, because that kind of puts the entire story in a different perspective. And so I think that one was a good one. And it sort of goes, like, it skips ahead and backwards in time as well, so it can be a bit difficult to keep track of where you're at in the story exactly, because it's not exactly, like, told in, like, chronological order. You definitely sometimes get snippets of the future, so you do know where people end up at a certain point in time. And of course, one thing that is good to know about this book is that it was all based on a school that actually existed, where all of these things actually took place, and people are still suing the Florida government for pretty much what they were put through when they were kids. So yeah, this is just an incredibly important story. I definitely gave it 5 stars because it was a harrowing tale, but it's really well written. There were a couple elements where I felt that was perhaps a bit filler, but in the end, I think it just really needs to be told in order to make sure all of the pieces of the story come together, if that makes any sense. I don't want to give too much away. I haven't read anything in my physical copy today, and I don't think I will, because I need to go to the gym tonight. But it's not until like 8:30 or so. It's about 6 o'clock now, so I think I'll just have dinner. I still have leftovers from the dinner I made yesterday, so I'll just heat that up, and then that will be dinner. And then I think I'll just write my blog post for tomorrow, head to the gym, take a shower, and call it a very early night. And then I think I'm just going to leave you here. This is not such an exciting end to the vlog. I was hoping to say that I could also have finished this one, but it's not gonna happen. And in any case, like, I have read, I think, I finished Summer Night, I finished A.M. Holmes, and I finished Nickel Boys. So I'm pretty sure that that's, 3 books completed in 4 days. I think that's pretty good. I think I did a good job. So, well done me. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please stay tuned for more videos coming your way. I will be doing my July wrap-up next week. And I will be vlogging when I do Tome Topple, because that starts on the 8th of August. So I will be vlogging that so that I have another reading vlog to go up in August. So that's definitely the plan, to participate in that readathon. Even though I had intended, of course, to make this video about a readathon as well, but that didn't happen. Oh well, you can't do everything, right? So I'm just gonna chill out a bit more, and then do the things I need to do, and then we'll talk soon. See you in the next video. Bye bye.